Have we started now?
Well, we're recording.
Oh, yeah.
This is the funny bit where we get things like Carl setting the fire alarm off, Will Derrick randomly walking in for no reason and sitting down.
Oh, what's he done?
And then
Suraj
sticking his face in the cake.
Suraj,
get in. Booyah.
Suraj basically saying, everything you do before the podcast, you set up, really? Do we look like we're clever enough to set up Carl setting the fire alarm off, or the random fella knocking on the door saying,
of course he's gone to the bloody screen.
Well, Jish parked his car in the middle of the road, so...
Did he? Yeah.
H, need focus now. Can't talk rugby on a cricket podcast.
Oh, we can't.
It's bad enough when we tell people off for talking football.
I'm a little bit more inclined to talk about that today.
No football chat. No football chat.
Limping home against Fulham.
Yeah. We good?
Have we done the testicles test?
Yeah.
Oh.
Did all this while Jish was trying to rub your testicles to get on the pitch.
I'm off.
You tested that before and said it was on.
I did. You said it was alright.
It's off there, isn't it?
Daniel.
I've got.
You said to me it was fine.
I've got my intro. It's fine.
I'm being silenced.
No, tell me.
Am I on?
Yeah.
Thanks, Dan. So he's accused me of being an alcoholic.
He said that was fine.
He's ripped paint off the walls. And
You've had
now
a
he's
stinker
trying to
today,
silence
Daniel.
me, Mike.
This is Silly Point, an Inside Etown podcast.
Right, welcome to a special edition of the Silly Point podcast. Now, something different. The cricket season's starting up, and a big part of Etown is midweek cricket, and it's LMS cricket. One of the biggest clubs in the area for LMS. 4 sides, 8 teams aside. For those who don't know anything about LMS, we're not going to go into it here. Have a look on the website. Last man stands cricket. 20 overs, 5 ball overs, 8 players aside. Basically whack it and score as many runs as you can. That's the thing. And depending on where you play, it's a mixture of grass wickets, astroturf, all that kind of thing. And it starts in a few weeks. You know, we're at the start of the season where you'd look outside at the weather and you wouldn't think it was cricket season. Or you probably would in this country, to be fair.
Depends what 5 minutes you spent looking out the window, because looking out now, it's just been chucking it down. Now the sun's out.
Yeah, we've been in here in about an hour. We've been in the clubhouse, haven't we, setting stuff up, having a chat about, you know, how things are going to work. And in that time, we've seen winds, rain, sun, and there was a bit of hail when I was driving up here as well. So at least it's not like them county cricketers we were talking about playing in snoods and gloves.
I was going to bring the snoods to the podcast.
To be fair, it's not actually that cold in here compared to usual.
No,
so, you know.
just noticed Harry had shorts on, so I did say, do you want to put the heating on? He's all right.
So what we thought we'd do is we do a special podcast this week where it's going to be similar to... you know, we are the players, some of the players, including Dave Shearer, is good enough to play in the IPL. So we thought we'd do like a draft to make sure, you know, each player is assigned to a team. There's 4 Etown teams we need to cover. Actually, we think we're only going to cover 3 in this podcast. I think the Blasters are pretty much covered by Jish is sorting his out. So the 3...
Agent Jish.
Yes, so the three teams we're going to cover
Super Asian or Super Agent?
He is aging well, to be fair, is Jish. Looks good. So the 3 teams we're going to cover are the Griffins, the Raiders, and the newly rebranded Etown Ringers. So we've got 2 of the 3 captains with us today. You've got Harry, who is the Griffins captain, trophy-winning Griffins captain, I way you say. And then we've got Dan, who's the Raiders captain. Ringers captain, Deegs, can't be with us, so we thought, what better way to do it and get a replacement? Carl's going to be in charge of picking the Ringers teams for this one.
I'm not giving you out, I'm asking you a question. I know that.
Go on.
You expect me to give you out.
I've seen your umpiring, yeah.
We've got the league winners trophy.
Stop touching it.
Well, my trophy's disappeared. So
Because you've touched it too much.
Yeah,
You've been told that before, by the way. Anyway.
Yeah, I've just got to. You've obviously been in the longest. When did we win the Champions League?
That's a heck of a trophy. That was
that's a Blasters win.
That's what Blasters won for basically winning the pre-season competition last season.
Was that classed as the spring comp?
So that's the spring
So
cup.
they're defending that.
They're defending that, which
next few weeks.
starts and over the next few weeks as well. We hope. Oh,
14th.
I was waiting for Harry to start waving the ball up and down, playing the Champions League music.
Do you know what I think as well? I've missed here. I think this is our 10th year for LMS at the club.
So LMS started in Liverpool League. That started around 2013. So I think you're probably about right.
Yeah, I think that needs checking because that needs a bit of celebrating, doesn't it?
Yeah.
10 years.
Phil Whitehead, if you're listening, Earlstown needs a special trophy for 10 years of playing LMS.
Yeah.
We've got that on camera.
Yeah.
So
And a
make
sponsor
it known.
board. Yeah.
So the idea is we're going to fill squads. Now we've got 3 teams to fill. We're going to fill with a squad of 9 or 10. We've also got a little side pot of what we're calling league ringers, which basically means these players aren't going to be assigned to a specific team, but what they are going to be is they're going to be ringers available to fill up spaces on the other teams if they're short on players as we go forward. 2 things to say. Number 1, there isn't a lot of money in this, so don't expect Carl to throw 50s down and Dan's going to throw whatever the Green Party have given him this week. That ain't going to happen, okay? But the other thing to note is, just to make this a bit quicker, what we've actually done beforehand and what the captains have decided is they've already picked their 6 and 7 core players for their team, and then the draft will come after that to fill up those squads 2, 9, 10, depending on how it goes. For anyone watching whose names are in the draft, unfortunately, if you are not picked by one of the captains, you are automatically a league ringer. So it doesn't mean you're not going to play. It just means you're there to help back up. Captains and Carl have also tried to make sure that people's preferences have been listened to as well. There was a few people, I think, Carl, who said they'd rather, because of their life situation and the ability, they'd rather just be a league ringer anyway, rather than just be attached to a specific team.
Yeah, we put in the availability group on WhatsApp, we asked, because of the new rule, we asked players' preferences, didn't we? So we feel like we've tried, the captains especially have tried to keep it as, you know, if you put the ringers, we're trying to get you a game in the ringers, but as it was, nobody put they wanted to be in the ringers. So it's an Etown team, so you're going to end up somewhere. And it's all about playing cricket at the end of the day.
So let's start with, as you can see, we can't see it on camera, but the LMS Merseyside League winners, reigning captain. H, decent season last season for you. You know, there's a few slip-ups, but, you know, you end up pulling it through in the end, and you ended up going to, if I remember, both myself and you were lovingly hugging under a small umbrella of Port Sunlight when we tried our best to...
So it was Hello Kitties.
Yeah, to play the regionals, which, you know, didn't go down too well. But, you know, the Griffins is always seen as in the midweek kind of things, the Griffins is seen as the top team. Let's be honest about that. It's the team that's there to win most of the time. And it doesn't seem like it's going to be much different for you this year.
I hope so.
Well, looking at the 6 that we've nailed on, it's as strong as we can be, and
If they're available every week.
Yeah.
I'm already missing one next week anyway.
So if we look through, then either you or Carl want to read it out Tuesday. Who's the core 6 you've gone for the Griffins for this season? Go on, H.
So I put
Is your
myself
moment?
down. I've
Yeah,
just
yeah,
managed to get in.
Just managed to get in.
Edward Platt after a bit of persuasion.
Edward.
Jenko, well, he plays every week, doesn't he?
Yep.
Lammy, Touchwood. Big Dave and Gerard Smith, first team captain.
So when you look at that, just as a core 6, that's strong when you think about it.
It's a lot of runs in it.
It's a lot, but it's a lot of wickets as well. As we had this discussion in one of the podcasts. I don't know if it's out yet, but when you look at Jenko, he's actually taken a 5 for an LMS, but never on the weekend.
Is it
It
a
shows-
50 in LMS as well?
There's other people at this table. If it's a 50 in LMS, it's not really a big.
It's in
I don't know.
It was in the Etown, one of the first Etown derbies, Etown Raiders and Griffins, because I was playing for the Raiders and I was bowling. He didn't get his 50 off me, but he likes to remind me that I opened the ball in that day. So.
The worst thing is, I think I'm the only person sitting around this table that hasn't got a 50 in off. I've been
Got
here
a 50 down.
Yeah, I've been here for 50 bowling, but I've never hit it off the bat. So we
Off one over.
we don't talk about. So I was Dan's skipper when he hit the 50, and he opened the baton for me.
How many
And
balls was it at?
well, this is the thing. Dan got 50 of 56 balls to an LMS game, 37 of them were wides.
Oh my.
Brilliant.
That's okay.
I wasn't playing for wides.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, because if you would have hit them, they would have gone down on your bat. But yeah. So yeah. So anyway,
50
Griffins,
50.
very decent side there, and there's players to add to. Dan, from a Raiders point of view, I think the Raiders every year the Raiders seem to be getting better and are developing and doing more. And last game of the season, big win against the Etown Ringers as well. And it just kind of shows, and that's what the Raiders have always been. It's to help people kind of develop. And have you found that as a skipper?
I think I kind of lost my way a little bit last season because we nearly won a game at Sutton, which I wouldn't expect us to do.
Yeah.
But we should have. We just couldn't bust a partnership, and I kind of got the kind of like gold or like pound signs in my eyes. Let's try and win a few more games. I kind of lost sight of what the Raiders is, and then I had my head wobbled and wobbled my own head, and I think for the second half of the season we had a good laugh. I did miss a lot of cricket last season because, as you all know...
Really? You've never mentioned this on the podcast before, have you?
I'll not mention a certain medical condition.
Even my missus knew about it.
Before he went into hospital, probably.
I was walking around like her flick of the Gestapo. So I missed a lot of cricket. Shane did a brilliant job for me last season as vice.
I think he went close to winning one, didn't he? I can't think of it.
We could have won 3 or 4 games last season before we eventually
We talked about it in one of the podcasts where you had the Blasters down to Jish batting on his own, needing 60 or 70.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
And Jish single-handedly won them that game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's one of those things. As the season got on, we continually kept breaking our top runs scored. We won the last game of the season with a record chase. So to me, that is incrementally these lads, and the team has not changed a lot over the last 2 or 3 seasons. A lot of the lads who have picked here my core 6, because what I've done, and I know you've always appreciated this Carl Jones selection. Last season, I've always had that top 6, and I've offered 2 places to the club. Do we need someone who's coming back from injury? Do we need someone who's a bit short on confidence? So that top 6 for me is always straightforward. Obviously, I have to pick myself.
Yeah, go on.
And I've got Reese, who's used LMS as a development tool. That it is.
Very much so.
Bundle, scored a load of runs last season, is doing brilliantly. Faisal is the
A load of runs.
Sorry?
A load of runs.
Reese?
Did he score that many?
I can't remember how many he got, but it was more than me.
Yeah.
Faisal
That's
is
the benchmark, boys.
yeah, exactly. I set high standards for the Raiders. No, Faisal is a brilliant player, with bat and ball. He's absolutely key to everything that I do. Steve OD opens up for me every week without question or pause. Just got back to wherever I ask him to. Shane is my vice, and he has particularly used LMS as a vehicle to accelerate his development. He's got a couple of 50s. His bowling has improved. I needed a wicket keeper last season, and JT put his hands up. JT was the top run scorer for the Raiders as well last season. He was my vote for player of the season because he improved so much. I think he did fantastically. So they're my core 6.
So that's do you know what? It makes sense. When you look at it, it really does make sense from that point of view of, the regulars, they're going to be available each week, and, those folks are there to basically enjoy themselves and try and help develop the game. And that's what the Raiders has always been for. So, and I do want to give Reece a shout out as well, because the development of Reece has been amazing over the last few years. His batting. I've never seen a man with such a high pointy front elbow in my life, but it works for him. And I think I played one game against them for the Bandits. I think I played against the Raiders, and Reece got scored 20 or 30 odd. So big shout out to Reece on that one. So there's a 6 for the Raiders, which are good. Now, Ringers is a little bit different, just to kind of give a backstory. They are new to the club. Carl kind of welcomed them in with open arms. They were a separate team and have been in LMS for a few years, but they found it tough last year.
Kings, and they were a genuine pub team in that they were quite proud of that.
Yeah.
In that respect, where did they played it? They had their own home ground at
No, they
one
didn't.
point.
No, I don't think I've ever done anywhere.
No, they played from, was it Grange?
I'm not too sure. I've only ever played.
I think they played out of Grange originally.
Okay.
And then for whatever reason, I don't know why it wasn't that easy to get to be fair. In that sort of R5 people coming home from work, it wasn't a great part of Warrington to get to. For some reason, they stopped playing there. They came here, but they were one of the first teams in it this league here, so it was a big shame, to be fair. There's some great lads in there. I think they might have even been a football team, and they've said, let's have a go at LMS, because obviously they can't commit to the Saturdays and stuff. So they were always good fun and good value. So it was a shame when they started to lose a little bit of interest. We tried to help them with a few players here and there, like the league has always done, St Helens League especially. But they just couldn't do it. So Terry Major, who was captain when they did end up folding, we took over just to try and keep the back end of the league season competitive and not giving out buys every week for not fulfilling fixtures. Fast forward, it was Kings. I think it was Kings A at one point,
and then Kings Club,
and now it's Etown Ringers. So yeah, it's an added bonus, and we'd hoped with the rules that were in place last season, the season before, that we could mop up lads who weren't playing with maybe some new guys coming and getting involved, that they could just be lobbed in as a ringer and get some cricket. And it was an extra 2 games a week for us, probably playing against and playing for. But rules this season are making that a little bit more difficult, and this is probably the team, when we read out this core, that's going to get some eyebrows raised a little bit, because nobody in that availability poll that was put out weeks ago actually put down that they wanted to be a ringer, which I don't think is a reflection of them not wanting to play for the Ringers. It's just the fact that Griffins is into its 10th year, we think. Raiders has got its own place within the group in terms of development and lads that want to improve certain parts of the game in a match situation that maybe aren't quite their Saturday level just yet. This kind of is supposed to be right in between, and I think the 6, captained by Deegan, which is how we got Deegan, by the way, as an Etown player. So we owe it to Deegan to keep it going, don't we? Yeah. He's captaining it. I'm sat in his chair because he's not currently in the country, we don't think. Malta, is he? Yeah. Still? Yeah. So the 6 nailed on is Deegan, Dave Walsh, who was a Kings player, Terry Major, who we've said before was a former captain of the team, and then we've gone for young Alex Toft, young James Gornall, and young Jitesh Ladver as the core. So obviously, leaning back slightly to the new rules, because we're not allowed to switch and swap like we could unless there's an official league ringer status applied to you as a player. This is where we've at now. So we've got 3 groups there of 6 lads who are going to play for that team each week. In this spring comp, I guess it's a conversation maybe we need to have in a few weeks, whether or not this gets mixed up for the main league. Don't know. That's probably for another podcast. Certainly a headache for Phil Whitehead if we do push that on him. But yeah, so there's the 6 of the main 3. We've touched on the Blasters, which is Jish's baby, really. Yeah. He's all set. He's done as much scouting and snooping and sneaking and.
I think the word you're looking for, Carl, is poaching. That's the word, isn't it? Yeah.
He's got duller.
But yeah, he's got duller. He's tapped Izzy. We don't know
I'm
whether
assuming he's also
taking
I'm assuming he's also taken like Sadaku and Blessing.
Blessing was swiped, wasn't he? And to be fair, when he first mentioned that he'd had this idea, because he plays a lot of badminton and other sports with this group of friends who hadn't really any cricket experience, certainly not in hardball format. I think they thought, well, we might as well get a cricket team together and ask me about it. But he did say the words, "You won't lose me and Shammy for the Griffins, don't worry, we'll play twice." And I don't think they ever played for the Griffins again. I don't think.
I think Rich played the odd one.
Welcome to the captaincy. Griffins. Right, we've been accused on this podcast of selling out. And I'd just like to assure you all, listeners, viewers, contributors, that we have not sold out. But what we do now normally is, at this time on the podcast, we have a Pimlets pie. And this episode of Silly Point is in association with Pimlets, and we thank them very much for their sponsorship and for being a well-known brand in the local area for many years.
that's the four. Are we naming the league ringers that we've got?
So the definite league ringers, yeah, because with the squad sizes, we do have, you can see, we do have a list of players who are up for bidding, and anyone who isn't bought and dropped in by one of these three will automatically become a ringer as well. But there are a few people who've made it clear to Carl and others that they'd rather be a league ringer. So just so they're not left out, Carlo, they are.
League ringers, the list is Pete Edwards, Sean Collard, Izzy, so Berhenol, Gremmers, myself, I'm being put in as a league ringer, and there's a new chap who I haven't had the registration chat with yet. All I know him as is Lovey. Lovey is how he signs off his text messages. So,
you sure that's a man?
It's definitely a man. But he has put on one Goldie as well, so I don't know whether his spell check's going through the roof or not.
Goldie Lovey.
He could turn out to be one of the,
more interesting characters.
Yeah, absolutely. He's been recommended to us by Abby, so that's why the information at this stage is a little bit. I haven't touched base with him yet, but I'm going to throw him into the league ringers as well, because he only wants to play LMS, wants to sign for us, but only wants to play midweek. I think whilst we're at this stage and we don't know anything about him other than, well, we don't even know his name yet properly, do we? Just calling him Lovey. So we'll stick him in as the Ling Reegers.
So just so anyone does, just to kind of make it clear, if you're in the league ringers pot, it means that you can play for any team if and when required, if one of the teams are short. I think the league rules are there needs to be a minimum of 6 of the core team available for each team.
Yeah.
So the maximum you can have ringers playing is 2. Obviously,
it's like
for
isn't it?
Yeah, and for an Etown point of view, of course, the idea is, in the nicest possible way, maybe the league ringers don't get a game, but it's never going to happen.
No.
It's never going to. I don't think at any point last season, if you look at the weekend side of things, I don't think the first and the second played the same team 2 weeks in a row because they couldn't, because of availability.
And it's
natural and normal, isn't it?
It's new territory for us as well, this. Yeah. Even though, like I said, it's 10 years in LMS potentially this year, this new league ringer rule, we don't know how it's going to pan out. We have a feeling, well, Chris and I mentioned earlier, without any actual official confirmation, that this spring league will be a little bit relaxed in terms of there'll be no penalties applied.
No, as far as I'm aware, the spring league's just a warm up and it doesn't really matter.
So this could change again, and the league ringers could change. But obviously, lads have chosen to be league ringers because they want to be flexible with their evenings to play, and they might not be able to play, and they want to not have the opportunity of not being picked.
Yep.
So I think it covers more. It might sound a bit confusing at this stage, but I think with what we're about to do and what we've done, hoping that everybody kind of accepts where we are, I think it's probably the best. This is the best. We've thought about it, and this is the best way forward, we think.
So each team has got a core of 6 at this point. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 definite league ringers. What we do have are, I don't want to say leftovers, but they are the people who are happy to play for anybody. So we've got Merlo, Kiwi, Chewy, Stu Pyer, Will Derrick, Padmar, Prasanta, Abby, Andy Windle, Kyle Green, Tom Rayner, Shearer, Crossy and Tofty Senior. So the way we're going to do this is league champions get the first choice. Okay. So, Harry, you have your choice.
Is it £2 a player, by the way?
Director of Cricket's choice.
Yeah, I'm going to throw it in. It's £2 a player.
Okay. Shall have change.
Do you do bank transfer?
Yeah.
There is another conversation to have here, by the way, Carlo, because I think we've missed someone.
Uh-oh.
We haven't put Fletch on it.
Fletch is on the list as well.
We haven't put Fletch on any of the lists.
So what did we say we were going to do with him? Because he's retired, hasn't he? So
yeah. So maybe Fletch maybe for the Spring Cup, Fletch goes as a league ringer, and then when the main league starts, we'll see where he wants to fit in from
What do you think?
Yeah, I'd say that's probably the right way to go.
Yeah? You sure? Or you have to pick him?
I was after picking him.
Oh, well.
I mean, you might be wasting the £2 though. I don't mean that nasty about him, but he's kind of adamant.
It's the risk of picking these players. It's the availability.
I think once he turns up
yeah.
with his 6 cans and sits over in that corner, starts watching, he's going to be itching to play because I'm the same.
Mm-hmm.
Minus the £6. Although Dan thinks I'm an alcoholic, but that's for another podcast. So I guess that's the gamble that you take. That's the privilege of being in the captain's chair.
You could pick somebody on
Do
these.
you know what we have said is anyone who isn't picked does go to be a league ringer anyway. So, Carl, if you want to add them to the list, and if Harry wants to risk maybe £2 on Fletch, that's
Chris Jericho over here. You just made the list.
Yeah. It's a risk. What you want to do?
Any of them's a risk because you could pick somebody there and they go, well, I'm not available.
You could pick Kiwi.
You could pick
Kiwi, and it could be Chinese night.
Yeah.
So
you could get food poison off a Chinese, not be available for 6 weeks.
Yeah. Okay, so Harry, first choice. There is the list, sir. We've read them out.
Friend.
You've got everybody from Merlo down to Will Derrick. You've got a couple of unknowns in Padmar and Prasanta. You've got.
You've been to most. To be fair,
you've
probably seen all of them lads play.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Crossy. You know about Crossy. Crossy didn't go training, but who's above Crossy there on that list? Shearer.
I'm going to go Kiwi.
He's going Kiwi.
Going with Kiwi.
£2 for Kiwi.
This doesn't work. Do you know what? It's not like a high-profile podcast, but the fact between the four of us, we've only got one pen is going to make this so bloody annoying. So we've gone for Kiwi.
So he's going in.
Yeah. You best turn up. Tell you.
Please donate to Etown.
Yeah, sure you put a little two, so you're keeping a tally of how much rules you. Okay, so Dan, Kiwi's out.
Do we need crossing off that one?
I haven't got a pen. We've just had this discussion. That's the problem.
So
Kiwi's gone.
I'm going to pick this from the Raiders' point of view. Like the lads that I always work with, I'm going to work with those guys. So if I can have the list again, like
you built that up like you already knew.
You knew what you were seeing the list.
I do have an idea.
Typical politician.
My memory's terrible.
Wigan have scored again.
So I'm going to go with my first pick.
Fletcher.
No, I'm going to pick Dave Shearer.
I was expecting
Because
that,
Dave plays loads for the
£2 going in, Ryan.
Yeah, so £2 going in for Dave Shearer.
And it's just been announced that Shearer's a £5 player.
Do you know what?
The
thing with Shearer, LMS is Shearer's game.
Yeah.
It really is. He see ball, hit ball, swing for the ball. He ain't going to go quick runs, is he? So on behalf of Deegan, Carl, for the ringers, who are we going to go for? So we've got Merle, Chewy, Stu Pryor, new ones in Prasanta. We've got Tofty Senior. You've got Crossy.
I didn't think how hard this would be.
When you get there, you're like...
That's why Deegan's in Malta.
I didn't think about the next round as well.
See, I think like the point that Dan made about sticking with, even though these lads had requested that we'll play anyway.
I could have picked.
You could have picked.
Great love to Shearer. I could have picked a better player, but I'm picking
for Raiders.
Which is your prerogative. You've got to. It's not just about picking the best players. Yeah. It's about getting that team dynamic right as well.
Harry picks the best 8 that he can. I pick the 8 that we want to bring on and get some cricket to.
It's the same thing now. If the team dynamic's good, that's the best 8 you can have out there.
I'm going to go, from what I've seen on Deegan's behalf, obviously, I'm going to go Kyle Green.
Yes! First bit of dissension, I like it. Carl snatching a play, Harry.
I think he can bat and bowl.
Yeah.
So he'll offer. Yeah, he'd be a good acquisition for the ringers at this stage. So yeah, there's Deegan's first £2 gone.
Send him an invoice even though he's not here.
Let's not talk about invoices, Daniel, after what you've done today.
Look at the damage.
Right, so first round of picks, we had Kiwi going to the Griffins, we had Shearer going to the Raiders, and we had Kyle Green going to the Ringers. So, round 2. Left, we have Merlo, Chewy, Stu Pryor, Will Derrick, Padmar Prasanta, Abbey, Andy Windle, Tom Rayner, Crossy, Tofty Senior, and the lingering odour of Fletch.
And it does linger.
Yes.
That's a highly articulate outburst, Chris.
Yes.
Chris.
And I'm going to... It's £3 this round. Is £3 a player.
Well, we're going to give you 4 picks. So I'd say the first 2 rounds are 2. I'd say the last 2 rounds are 3.
Okay.
So that's
Another
around
£2
£10 each then.
Yeah.
Around
Gonna
£10
go
each.
Chewy.
Oh, okay. Chewy.
Yeah.
Um,
Don't have any left arms.
It's Callum, innit?
Left arm bowlers in the Griffins, so it gives a bit of a variation.
I've put C
Chewy.
and then
C.
Chewy.
See Chewy, okay. Is that the name you're going to get on the back of his top as well? Just
Is it Windows?
Okay,
nobody
so
watched White Coat.
that's an interesting pick. But that, do you know what? Never seen Chewy because I've only been to a few and he hasn't been at the things. But from what you folks have said, especially you, Carl, very good player and very highly rated.
Absolutely. He seems like he's obviously had a couple of spells as an Etown player, so he's not always covered himself in glory, but we are, as young lads, you make decisions that you think are right for you at the time, and they don't turn out the way you'd planned, and he's come back now more mature. I think we got a great chance of seeing the best of him, really do. And he still lives just at the back of the ground, so providing he can fit us in with work plans and family and stuff.
Oh, don't say that now,
I think
Pixie.
he's no.
Well, that's the idea of having a squad of 10, so that's the thing.
He's saying, he's told George he's hoping to work everything around that. But yeah, I think the more times he plays, he's got more chance. It seems like he's chomping at the bit to go and prove some of us wrong, or just resurrect his Etown career, really, I think.
Okay, Mr. Raiders skipper. Next choice is yours.
Tough senior.
Tofty Senior goes to the Raiders.
Again, he's played a lot of Raiders cricket over the years with me, and I had a really nice moment last season where I sent him and Alex out to Open.
I tell you what, I wouldn't mind seeing Tofty Senior bowl, Tofty Junior bowling a Tofty Senior this season in the LMS.
Seen it a few times in nets, haven't we?
As well. Alex seems to put a bit more bounce and a bit more whip in it. So
Alex is so tall as well; he gets that natural bounce as well.
So
my next picks, I'll be like.
Whoa! Stop jumping ahead.
Well, I'm not going to jump ahead. I'm not going to tell you who it is, but like that is kind of like the 2 players that I really wanted to pick before.
Right. Okay. So Tofty Senior goes to the Raiders. On behalf of the Ringers, Carl's going to go for...
See, I like the look of Andy Windle. He looks, but I know he's similar knee injury to me, so I know he's already looking at maybe not being available for the first 6 weeks. I think he's suggested. I can't remember, but he's really keen and looks like he's going to be an asset.
He looked good in the net. Yeah.
If he can get over this knee injury as quickly as he's hoping, I think he's going to play.
Maybe he's the ideal candidate to be a ringer for the Spring Cup, and then move him over when we do the start of the league proper.
Yeah.
Go on.
I think I'm going to go for Merlot. Again,
especially with James being in that
with the
team,
two things, there's two youngsters in there. It is, if you look at that now, Deegan is an Etowner, but the Jitesh is relatively new.
Yep.
It's Kyle's first year with us. Walshy and Terry are obviously out of towners, and the 2 youngsters. I think Merlin in that is experienced plus he's Etown. I think it balances. Yeah. That group out there, and obviously he's an excellent player. So, yeah, £2 well spent there, Deegan.
So, round 2. I would like to know who got the.
This is round 3, isn't it?
No, I'm recapping round 2, Daniel.
Get with it.
God, so round 2, Chewy went to the Griffins, Tofty Senior went to the Raiders, and Merlin Gornall joins his son at the Ringers. So, next round, £3 a pick. You've got, so for each club, there's 6 players to choose from, so 2 players each for the rest. Okay? So, left, Harry, it's up to you. You have Stu Pryor, Will Derrick, Padma Prasanta, Abby, Andy Windle, probably not. I think we're going to leave. Maybe
unfortunately, yeah. I mean,
Andy towards. I'll just put a little no. Leave to be a ringer for a league ringer for now, just because of his injury, and just to, if he can fit in, maybe use the Spring Cup to just kind of give him a chance to just get a bit of fitness and test his knee out. Maybe. Tom Rayner, Crossy, and Fletch is still lingering. So, Harry, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to choose from. Who are you going for?
The rugby's on, by the way.
Yeah,
Can you tell?
Yeah, and then Wigan have probably just won as
Yeah.
well, yeah. So in the next round, Wigan, I'm going to go for Cockney Stew.
Cockney Stew.
Stu Pryor.
That's my next two picks. Good shop.
Cockney Stew.
After his winning performance to win the league title last year.
I
Even though
think
he wasn't meant to be playing as well.
Stu's a good pick for LMS because he will annoy the backside off bowlers because
It's the
unless you
left-side
block
rise,
off,
yeah.
unless you block off that little thing round the corner, it's a guaranteed 1 or 2 each time.
Yeah.
Which is what people think LMS is just smashing for a lot of players.
No,
It is. Find the gaps. That's all you got to do. You can get a 50.
Fielding as well.
Yeah, just put Stu in front of the bowler in all his armour. He's good. I think that's a very good pick for the Griffins. To be fair,
I think he is a Griffin to me. I look at him as a Griffin player, and I did say to him, we had a conversation about should I be a league ringer, should I be this, and I said if I was your manager, I'd say get in the Griffins and try and cement your place in there. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's worked
Griffins and LMS potential because he said it. Recorded on the podcast, we have it. He wants to have a go at opening for the 2s at the weekend if the slot comes available. We said to George, he's more happy with his form to maybe play 1s if needed this year. So
I can think of 1 slot. Definitely
big season.
Available.
Yeah. Daniel, Raiders 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 choices available.
So
ranging from Will Derrick all the way up to Crossy and Fletch.
The honourable gentlemen have both just picked the 2 players that I had.
Do you need me to go through your options then?
No, because it's pretty straightforward now. I want someone with experience, someone who can be an all-rounder and just do better than Fletch.
Oh, okay.
Now, obviously, if the captain of the Griffins tells me that he wants Fletch in his team, then Fletch is going to the Griffins.
No, he can't. He can't.
This is a draft, but it's only for the summer. Sorry, for the spring.
Is this not for the full year?
This is for the spring contest.
Technically, it's for the full year, but it all depends on, because someone like how the plan's out. We'll say for the point of this, we have to say these are the teams for the season. There may be a little bit of wriggle movements, but the thing with Fletch as well is you don't know when he's going to be available. That's the other thing. But Liam Fletcher,
it's a £3 gamble that I think could pay off.
Yeah, Fletch is a Raider.
That could be the big headline.
Yep.
Well, I was going to get one of Merle, Fletcher or Stu.
So the one you were left with, basically, yeah.
Well, no, because my expectation, I don't think Fletcher's ever played a Raiders game. From where I've been here, he's always Raiders. Sorry, he's always Griffins.
Yeah.
So I was expecting Harry to pick him, but Harry's taken Stu, who I was going to pick.
Yeah.
Carl's just taken Merle, which on both of those are completely logical picks. So I'm just getting the best player that I can get.
Look at the draw, isn't it? So next up, Ringers. Where's Carl? Where's Carl going to go with this one?
I think Pad. Pad's played a lot, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He's another left-hander, so it gets the wides as well sometimes.
Yeah.
He's got quite a few runs as well, doesn't he?
Yeah. He can bloody hit it.
And he can hit it. He can hit the ball.
Yeah.
I think Pad.
And keeper as well.
Yeah, he does keep, doesn't he? Yeah, we'll go Pad.
Well, that's it. He was. I'm thinking ahead to my next, but he was kind of in my line of thought because although JT's the keeper,
say JT's not available.
Keep. It's always pays to have 2 wicket keepers in your squad if you can have one.
All right. So end of that round, we had Pad going to the Ringers, we had Fletch going to the Raiders, and Stu Pryor as a Griffin. So last round, gentlemen, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players available in the last round. So 2 people, unfortunately, will be moving on to the League Ringers side of things. So, from a Griffin's point of view, you have Will Derrick, Prasanta, Abbey, Tom Rayner, or Crossy. Choice is yours, Harry.
Abbey.
Straight away in with Abbey. Straight away, Dan's pick gets taken again.
Abbey could easily have been a pick ahead of any of them from what we've seen in nets.
He can hit a ball and bowl.
Yeah, and that's key in the LMS game, especially. And you've got 8 players. If you got some in there that can do both skills, then it's key, innit?
Yeah. That'll do for me.
So that's a decent Griffin side right there. So Raiders left with 1, 2, 3, 4 options, Dan. You have Will Derrick, you have Prasanta, you have Tom Rayner, or you have Crossy.
From what I've seen in the nets, I'm going to go with Prasanta.
Okay, that's your choice. Prasanta. Prasanta is a Raider.
And then it's back to Deegan.
Interesting choice, but that's a good.
I can only go off what I've seen.
He's a decent player.
Yeah, I can only go. I don't know Tom Rayner. I don't believe so.
Yeah.
I think he only made the last 2.
Yeah,
I think.
And hasn't played. I can't remember because we've recruited well again this season. So there's a lot of lads who we've not yet got to know and know their backstory and whatever. But I'm sure Tom said to me he hadn't played since school, and we're looking to get into it. And I think the LMS suits. I think at this stage anybody that's not played for quite a while, rather than throwing into a 40-over game on a Saturday.
Yeah.
I think especially this spring comp, 16 overs, 5:45 start. I think it's ideal, but he'll slide into the league ringer situation anyway. So, is it one last?
It's one last choice for you. You've got 3 to choose from. You've got Tom, you've got Will Derrick, or you've got straight away.
Straight in.
I don't think anyone wants to spend money on Crossy because he's going to be umpiring most of the time.
Yeah. And does anyone want to spend money listening to Will Derrick as he's running around the field?
Well, Will Derrick will have been a lot like me, voting into these things as if I don't want the team to help have 7 men, and if he doesn't get picked to play a game all season, he won't be upset by that. I did ask him when we met the Beer Festival. I did ask him what's he done with his kit. It's all nice and ready to go. So I think that works. And like you say with Crossy. Yeah. He will, once he sniffs the £20 umpiring fee, he's going to want to umpire. LMS is not his game either, let's face it. No. We probably have to send a copy of these to Phil when he's selecting umpires, maybe. But
and you've got, if you play at Sutton umpire their own games, Jack umpires at Sutton, and he's happy to do that because he'd rather umpire. He doesn't play much anymore. LMS-wise, he just umpires at Sutton, and I think the main's going to be here, Haydock, and Sutton is where the games are going to play. No, I think we've pretty much got it. You've got 3 squads of 10, and you've got 7 or 8 ringers, league ringers, who are available as and when needed. And I think Carl's done a good job trying to make sure that the people who said I'd rather just be a ring and play with the gun, they're all covered. And then I think it's common sense for like Will Derrick and Crossy to basically, if you want to play, we'll try and get you in, but there's no pressure to do so.
Well, the proof will be in when I know I've already put the Raiders. Did I put the Ringers one out as well? I did. The Griffins one out as well. I did, didn't I? Wonder whether that affects. We'll have to compare them anyway after we've done it. But as it is now, we should probably post these as they are squads, and then wait for the fallout and/or some thumbs up.
If the podcast editor's any good, he'll flash them up on screen as well, as we've talked about.
No
them.
pressure.
So
the reason I mentioned that, by the way, is because I saw Pete Edwards' name down, and Pete used to vote for the Raiders.
Yeah.
Boy, did he score!
Pete can hit a ball, but then how often did Pete play last year?
He's not played LMS.
That's the thing.
He damaged his knee, didn't he, when he was playing LMS? So has he put his name down to be helpful, or does he fancy having a hit out? I'm not sure. I just saw his name and I thought, God.
I think it's tough, isn't it? Like we said, this is a little bit of trial and error, I think, for us. And I'm hoping that all the players respond either by listening to this and understanding what we're trying to do, and or when we put the actual names in the group, that they kind of accept it. It's kind of, we've been forced into a corner a little bit, and we're trying to do it as positively as we can. It's probably going to be a few. I mean, maybe Pete might worry and look at that and think, well, how am I going to get a game if there's 10 lads in each team? None of those 10 players will all be available.
Yeah, not a chance.
Let's
not
face
a chance.
It never works that way.
Just there's a spring again. Just to kind of reiterate, these are the teams based for when the main league starts. That's the idea of this podcast. The Spring Cup starts this week. It's just like a pre-season warm up because the weather's been terrible, so nobody's really had a pre-season. To be fair,
I think we should try and
stick to that as much as possible,
as much as we can. But the thing, because any mistakes that we've made doing this will obviously come out.
Yeah,
When we try and pick these teams and play these games. but because there'll be no penalties around, or you know, I think that's the key, isn't it? If what we've tried to do, be as positive and as sort of proactive, if it bites us, it's better to bite us now than
when the real proper stuff
when
starts.
the other teams are involved, like Haydocks,
Sutton,
Rainhill and stuff. And
yeah.
if there's going to be any complaints made or some problems, then we can deal with it. It's apart from the Bandits, but the Bandits run the league, really, don't they? In a way, you Siraj and Phil, that's your team.
Yeah.
So if there's any mistakes to be made, it's better to be playing them than Haydock, who might think, well, actually, it shouldn't be like that or whatever. I
think the big thing is the Spring Cup again is just to give a chance to get people in when the main league starts, and I think it's has Phil decided the format for St Helens? Is everybody in the same league?
Team league, he said.
And then if it gets called off, it's just a draw.
Yeah,
there's no splits.
Yeah, so it's different to the way Wirral are doing it. So Wirral are doing it same as last year because there's no pre-season one. So the main season starts, I think, the first week of May. Every team plays each other once, and then it splits into.
Personally, I quite like the league split.
Yeah.
Because it meant that as obviously as the Raiders, like potentially the weakest team in the league, it meant that we were playing other fellow, and there was all close games.
This episode of Silly Point is brought to you in association with St Helens Dart Shop Megastore.
180.
Well, I think that's the reason why you're probably all just playing one, because there's no outliers like Bolton gone, as I like to call them now. It's just because they were the outliers, because they took it far too seriously, and you know, this league it could be all teams are going to be very competitive this year in St Helens League.
It's not the way I look at Bolton gone, as in terms of taking it too seriously. They were just dicks.
Yeah. It's pretty straight.
Arrogant.
They were very good players. I have no problem with that. You know, watching that lad, was it Umar that you saw was their captain? Watching him hit a cricket ball was great. It was nice to see.
Unless you're bowling,
obviously. It was a good. They had potential to make a positive impact in our league, but half of their team were not nice people.
And they were turning up at 6:15 every week.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, being late, which I get it from coming from Bolton, but I just think they came across to this league for the wrong reasons, and eventually
we all know why they dropped out of the Manchester League into this league, and
it didn't work.
It didn't work at all.
I
no,
didn't have patience for knobheads coming here and disrespecting us and individuals and umpires and whatever.
It was even a little thing, because I don't know if it was true. They used to leave a lot of crap lying around the outfield and bottles and just crap and didn't clean up.
Respect the place. You know, you can you can say what you want about any of the Rainhill lads. We know that the big wicket keeper, he doesn't see eye to eye with everybody, but he comes and he goes. He comes and he goes. He's not really a problem, is he? He might chunner about the artificial or chunner about the outfield, but that's on him. It's not the team.
No.
But the team's ethos for Bolton gone was they were just, you didn't want him here.
No.
But Rainhill, apart from him, really. But he's competitive, so I understand where he comes from sometimes. But one guy in a team isn't easy to deal with when you've got an attitude of
a whole
Bolton
team
gone. It's
of
not nice. And like you say, it's midweek cricket.
Because the other thing as well is and in a way, they kind of forced a lot of people's hands, because, you know, Sutton likes to use it for their young players to come through. We know what the Raiders do, and that's that thing. But because of Bolton One's attitude, Bolton One turned up a Sutton one day, and Sutton basically had their 6 first teamers playing and 2 second teams didn't play any of the kids, because it was Bolton One. And I think because of the disrespect and stuff, I think the Raiders did it a couple of times where they had. Yeah, I think Jord played against them for the Raiders and things like that.
Jord, Adam and Gremmers.
Yeah, and it's like, that's not what LMS should be for.
We beat them as well.
You did, but then you beat them. You beat them in a way you wouldn't have been able to do this season.
It wasn't a full Raiders team.
But the reason it was, no one was bothered about it because of Bolton One's attitude.
I think going back into that, I think Adam was it right? Was Adam coming back from his injury? Were we not?
It was it weren't last. It was
last season before.
Yeah,
but he didn't play a lot. So I think there was a reason why he played. I don't think
he was picked. We didn't have lots of players.
It was kind of everyone. It was sort of.
It was Bolton One, and Adam went. I'm available for that. I fancy a look at them, because he'd seen them hitting.
Yeah, so I think that couldn't be levied against us in terms of trying to beat them by cheating.
No.
In terms of these rules.
No.
It was the way we'd run the Raiders in terms of, like you said, you always tried to maybe leave two spaces.
I think the point I was getting at was you wouldn't have done that against any other team.
Yeah, because Todd played a Raiders game once or twice,
Todd's played for
which was kind of him trying to build his fitness up to get back in, and maybe not thinking he was quite ready for Griffins cricket or whichever.
He could also go into that league ring as Todd.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I think it could be that once the season starts,
people want to keep playing.
You know, if Todd ends up on the balcony at the Griffin watching over and text me saying I might be able to play next week. I mean, I don't know his work. I don't know if what time he finishes work most nights. But I think, he might look at it and go, "Oh, they've only got 7. I'll play," which then might make him automatically a Raider until otherwise we agree, or which however it goes. Yeah. But also, like, what if like this Lovey is going to be a new player coming from Abbey? Well, what if one of like Chewie's mates who he used to play with comes to us in mid-May and wants to play?
Or Tika fancies playing.
Yeah, Tika. Yeah. So what we're gonna do then? They can't all come on as league ringers, can they? Yeah. So it's gonna these. There will be twists and turns in this, and like I say, I'm hopeful that everybody accepts what we've tried to do, and just looking at it, maybe Merle. Maybe Fletch. I don't know. Maybe Stu. They might go.
Knackered.
I don't want to play for someone else, but we don't know until we put it out there. We won't know. But like I said,
every
it's been
decision.
A bit of fun. We've raised 30 quid off the captains. Thanks guys and Deegs.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, we haven't tried to go against what anyone wants to play for. The majority of people there are either playing for the team that they said they wanted to play for, or they were happy enough to say, I'll play for anybody.
Well, I think Abbey put Griffins because he asked me, what should I do? Who should I play? Because he didn't know anything about the team.
Teams,
But when he put the thing, he said, what should I be doing? I don't know. So it was kind of my call to think, well, Luck's a good player, wants to play to win, doesn't need to slide into played all last season at Mobley. So he's in. He's netted well. He doesn't need to slide into the Raiders to develop his game. He should be in there trying to win that cricket match. Whenever Harry picks him. But yeah,
I must say, well, this is an exceptional level of transparency.
Oh, unbelievably so.
Oh, yeah.
Unbelievably so.
Every decision that has been made in front of a camera, it's going on YouTube, nothing's behind closed doors, and you've got the reasonings for doing it.
It's almost the communication that I think has possibly caused us some problems in recent times, whereas I know he's not here, but he won't mind me saying it, but I think Merle sometimes with some of his second team decisions isn't always on him, whether that's because he's working or he's doing whatever, but I think people, if they do watch this, they can see there is a thought process. It's a lot like a selection meeting that we've been to.
It's a bit of fun.
But obviously not, like you say, not in front of a camera. Yeah. So you always hope
You're trying to give me podcast ideas then? Just imagine selection live for the first. Could you imagine how that would go down?
That would get some views and some complaints, I think, in equal measure. Kind of people will look at this, even though we believe as 4 lads here now have stripped it right down and tried to be open and honest about it. There will probably be 5% of those lads watching this, or when they see these, get pissed off.
Yeah.
And we've tried to make sure everybody's happy, make sure everybody's got cricket. I guess what we might need to discuss is with Phil is, can players be transferred?
Yeah.
So let's say, as an example here, Kyle, who's going into the Ringers team, which is a team that's not sent out to lose, not that the Raiders is sent out to lose, but he might think, well, actually, I want to be in the team that's going for the league. Yeah. Can he be transferred in June?
I would have thought so. I would have thought, these are what we've set now. I said I was just here to kind of moderate on behalf of LMS, which I've bigged myself up.
Don't be washing your hands of it now.
Oh, yeah, I'm not washing my hands. I'm just backtracking very, very quickly. These are the teams that I've got in now. You use the Spring Cup to see if they work. If they don't work, then you make changes. As long as you stick to these new rules that Phil's bringing in for the start of the main league, 10 squad of 10 and then league ringers to jump in, and no, people can't play more than one team unless they're a league ringer, not an Etown ringer. I think it should be fine.
Or it may even give us another podcast as like a transfer window podcast when the next one comes
Yellow ties.
Harry might offer Dave Jenkins as a swap for Carl. You don't know, do you? And it's up to Deegan. It's up to. Do you know what I mean? It might be actually. Prasanta's done really well for the Raiders.
I want your Fletch, here's Stu Pryor. Do you know what I mean? It's something like that.
So
Pull the transfer window slam.
It could be fun. It could be fun.
Could be fun, but bear in mind if we're doing a mid-season transfer window. If it's anything like football, it's going to be more expensive, so it's a $5 a player. Jesus. Well, you buy mid-season in football, it is about double the amount that you'd normally pay, isn't it?
I think Stu Pryor is more than £50 an hour. I think that's going to take 4 hours, I think.
So, hopefully, people have enjoyed listening to this. Something different. Those are the teams for. Let's say they're the starting teams of the three of the four Earlstown LMS teams. This could change when the main season starts, but it's good to see. It's good. The one thing to say, you've just filled 3 teams with 2 extra players than you need, and as a club, you've still got a backup of near enough another full LMS team.
It's unbelievable.
It's madness.
And like we mentioned, like Todd and a few others who will probably play across
Jish's team.
Across the board.
And Jish has got his sorted. Yeah. So you basically got 4 LMS teams and technically a 5th one there as well. Thank you very much for listening. The LMS teams are provisionally set. For those players who were picked, well done. For those players who weren't, you are still part of the Lingy Gringers. And for those people who are annoyed and pissed off, Director of Cricket is your man to speak to.
Absolutely. Bring it on.
Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.
Thanks, guys.